Good morning, parents and students. Welcome to Standard 1 Music class. Children, today I am going to teach you a song, and the song is There's a Hole. So, come let's begin. There's a hole. There's a hole in the bucket. Dear Liza, there's a hole in the bucket. Dear Liza, there's a hole. Then fix it, dear Henry. Dear Henry, dear Henry. Then fix it, dear Henry. Dear Henry, fix it. With what should I fix it? Dear Liza, dear Liza. With what should I fix it? Dear Liza, with what? With a straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, with a straw. But the straw is too long, dear Liza, dear Liza. The straw is too long, dear Liza, too long. Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry, cut it. With what shall I cut it? Dear Liza, dear Liza. With what shall I cut it? Dear Liza, with what? With an axe, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With an axe, dear Henry, an axe. But the axe is too dull, dear Liza, dear Liza. The axe is too dull, dear Liza, too dull. Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, sharpen it. But there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, a hole. Okay, children? See this picture, children? What is this? This is a bucket filled with water. Now you can see water is coming out of the bucket. Why? Because there is a hole in the bucket. So come let's learn a song on how to fix the hole. Now children, let us sing and learn this song. There's a hole. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, there's a hole. Then fix it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then fix it, dear Henry, fix it. With what should I fix it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what should I fix it, dear Liza? With what? With a straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, with a straw. But the straw is too long, dear Liza, dear Liza. The straw is too long, dear Liza, too long. Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry, cut it. With what shall I cut it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I cut it, dear Liza? With what? With an axe, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With an axe, dear Henry, dear Henry, an axe. But the axe is too dull, Dear Liza, dear Liza, the axe is too dull. Dear Liza, too dull. Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, sharpen it. But there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, a hole. Now, children, let us sing with music. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. There's a hole, then fix it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then fix it, dear Henry, dear Henry. Fix it. With what should I fix it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what should I fix it, dear Liza? With what? With a straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a straw, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a straw, but the straw is too long, dear Liza, dear Liza. The straw is too long, dear Liza, too long. Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry. Cut it. With what shall I cut it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I cut it, dear Liza? With what? With an axe, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With an axe, dear Henry, dear Henry, an axe. But the axe is too dull, dear Liza, dear Liza. The axe is too dull, dear Liza, too dull. Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, sharpen it. But there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. There's a hole. I hope you all enjoyed this song, children. You need to practice this song at home. Thank you.